Now, at one point, someone was asking here, you used to be Vern Gagne's son-in-law. What was that like? Because we always hear the grumpy stories about Vern, and we know he's a good payoff guy and stuff, but did he have a sweet side that you got to see ever?
Yeah, he was a decent guy, and the AWA was a territory where you could make money in Vern because Vern had a lot of money for himself and stuff. He was a good payoff guy, and it was a great territory to work in. The funny bit was, me and Kathy, well, we started dating a little bit, but we wanted to keep it a secret because when it gets out in the business, all the bullshit. So me and Kathy went to a Bob Seger concert downtown Minneapolis one day, and sitting right behind us is Greg Gagne. So me and Kathy got busted being out together. And then I remember I got a message the next day that, hey, Vern would like you to come in the office and have a talk with you. And I thought to myself, oh, great. Okay, I'll be in tomorrow. So I went there and I went in his office and he wasn't in yet. He was doing something. Then Vern came into the office and when he saw me, I went, Dad. And Vern went, he didn't know what to reply, but it worked out good. Me and Kathy got two kids, healthy grandkids. She's a wonderful mother, a heck of a woman, so no complaints.
I heard that Vern liked to wrestle people after he'd had a few drinks. Did he ever try that with you?
No, no, he was, by the time I got there, Hannibal, he was already, getting up there. So I never wrestled him and I never really saw him wrestle anybody.
What happened with him in the retirement home there where it came out
Well,
that he accidentally killed somebody, I guess?
he
Not to
didn't
laugh.
do anything. He was Vern had bad dementia and they had him in a room. And I don't know if it was a hospice or a senior care or whatever they call them. You know, he had him in a room. And everybody that worked there, he was so famous in Minneapolis, that area. Everybody knew Vern Gagne was there in that room. Well, one day, some old 90 some year old guy is walking down the hallway with a walker and he falls over on the floor right by Vern's door. And some idiot who worked at this old people home started saying, "Oh my God, Vern Gagne came out, put the guy in the sleeper." I think that's what he was famous for in his day. Put the guy in a sleeper and killed him. And some idiot in the news picked it up and threw it out there. Like rumors say Vern Gagne killed a guy with a sleeper in the old people's home, which is a lie. Vern could not get off a chair without someone helping him. He's not going to get up, run to the door, put someone in a sleeper that you don't even remember, and kill him. But what happened was it got so much publicity, the family couldn't get Vern in another old nursing home because all the nursing homes thought he was potentially dangerous, like he might have killed somebody or did. They felt for the news. I would have sued the hell out of the newspaper. But it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. And that's why, again, I really don't watch a lot of news because I don't believe in a lot of news. I think the term fake news fits news more proper because what they're into is ratings and sponsors, maybe not so much the truth.
Here's a good question from Brian. You were AWA champion, so you know all about this. How did Vern elevate the AWA world title to a legitimate world title when other territories couldn't do that?
Well, God, that must have been, some years before I got there. But that was, again, the days of the territories. If you wrestled in Minnesota, St. Paul, your TV would go to Chicago, Milwaukee, Fargo, North Dakota, some parts of Illinois, that area. And so to say we got the world champion, but that was the same thing being done by the NWA in Charlotte and Greensboro and whatever. And in Texas, the Von Erichs, they had world champion, but no one knew about anybody else because you didn't get their TVs. The TVs in the days of the territory were, local. But I really don't know that exactly all that. I was so busy just trying to keep myself over and making money that some of the business stuff they were into, I don't know. And I didn't care. I just wanted to know how much I was making.
Were you with them right until the end because you were part of the family?
Yeah, basically I was. And it's kind of interesting because the family was trying to get Vern to close the doors, to close the AW down before it went out of business and he shut it down. They wanted him to shut it down because they saw the new era coming, the national television. The WWE had a big jump on all the other territories. And they wanted him to shut down, but he didn't want to. And for a little while, the Crockett's and Verne worked together. They ran, they ran that big thing.
Pro Wrestling USA.
Yeah, they ran that big building in New Jersey.
The Meadowland. Didn't you do Chicago too?
Yeah, Meadowlands, Chicago. But they tried to work together and to make it new because the AWA had, this talent for so long, and the NWA had this talent. So it was a way for new matches to happen. I always thought me and Flair would have a great match, and that was kind of talked about happening, which would have been great, but it never happened because
he was afraid of you, right?
No, I wasn't afraid of me. It's just the Crockett's and the Gagnes, too many cooks in the kitchen, and they couldn't agree on business deals. So it just never happened. And finally, Vern shut the door and TBS bought out, the NWA and became WCW.